So we're going to use a browser to access the log data in the PDMM to see why you're getting an A31 fault. First of all, you got to plug your computer into the switch. That's what I've done here. And your address is going to be 192.168.50.44 for the UHS loader. First thing we're going to do is we're going to open a browser. Then we're going to enter that address. In my case, it's 192.168.50.101. Yours is different. I'll say enter. So now we are connected to the PDMM, and I'm going to say log in. The password is administrator, so I'm going to copy this. Copy, and I'm going to paste it here. Paste, and then log in. And you can see at the top, I'm going to get rid of this. See at the top now it says logged in as administrator. So now the log files, if you click on KAS application, you're going to see some log configuration and log data. So I'm going to click on log data. I'm going to scroll down a little. And in this case, I have 2 files. You may have a lot of them. I would like the 10 most recent ones, so the ones with the biggest numbers. So I'm going to download both of these. Okay, so now these are log files, and if I go to downloads, you can see I have them here. I actually downloaded them twice, but so I would like these files so that I can send them to Kollmorgen because they have information that might reveal what the problem is. So these are good files. These are created randomly, like every 1,000 entries. Refreshing it doesn't create a new one, so we'll just take what's there. The next thing I want to do is go to log configuration, and I want you can see you can click on these different levels. I want you to click across so everything is clicked under debug, and then say apply. So now as time goes by, we're going to get even more information. So if those log files that we're going to get don't have enough information, we'll get them next time with this setting. So next thing I want to do is I want to go back towards the top of this, and I want to go to diagnostics. And under diagnostics, we have something called, first of all, let's look at alarms. There are none in this case. Crash reports. I'm going to pull this down. I have none here. I'm going to say refresh. I have none. But if there's something here, it'd be great if you could copy and send those to me. Next, we have EtherCAT. And as you can see, this system is running, and it shows the connection of all the devices. If I hover over a device, I get information. It would be interesting to see what information you're getting while this system is running, your system, to see if you see any errors. I got zeros on everything here, lost packets and so forth. So take a look at that and take a picture of it so we can see that everything is working fine. So just for an example, I'm going to unplug one of the EtherCAT cables. I'm just going to unplug this one here. And now we have a fault, E30. And we're going to come over here and we're going to refresh. And you can see it's pointing out exactly where the break is. So this might be interesting too if it faults, to be able to see if it can identify where in the tree the disconnect has happened. Now, I don't know that this is going to apply to the fault you're having, but it's interesting information. Something you can look at if it faults while you're there. But most importantly will be the log files that you're going to get for me and download and then send to me. These are text files. You can look inside them. It's a lot of information. So maybe this will give us a clue as to why you're having the A31 faults, as well as stopping of the system. Other thing now in your tree, I should have mentioned under the EtherCAT, I'm going to go back to diagnostics, and I'm going to go to that EtherCAT tree. So under your EtherCAT tree, there are going to be a lot more devices. This only has 2 drives and remote I/O. Yours will have 4 drives, 2 remote I/Os, and then all of the SMC valves. So you'll have a lot more devices in your tree. just worth noting. One of the things I'd like you to do is to unplug and replug. I'm going to turn this off. Then just unplug and replug each of the EtherCAT cables from the device over here. That's the, it's a little different I/O, but just unplug them all and replug them all, reseat them. On your machine, there'll be plugs on the outside, round plugs, and plugs on the round plugs on the valves themselves. So go ahead and disconnect all those and reconnect them, and we'll see if we can resolve this or figure out what the problem is. This is the architecture of the system that you have trouble with. You have the PDMM, the horizontal, vertical drive, remote I/O, and then you come over to the other module with the 2 drives, another remote I/O, and then we have the valve banks. So these are all of the plugs I want you to take out and replug, just to make sure we have good solid connections, and that isn't what's giving us problems. So let's start there. There are more things we can do to troubleshoot this, but this is a good starting point. I'd love to see those logs.